Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. So as information for Total War Warhammer 3 is dropping left, right and center, and after personally playing through this new survival battle for a total of 3 hours, which allowed me to have a few runs and test out a few things, I reviewed my footage and my notes over and over, and I believe that I can now give my honest opinion regarding the new battle type for Warhammer 3. Also, please keep in mind this is just in reference to the survival battle mode. I have not seen anything else regarding Warhammer 3, but with all that being said, let's begin. I'll be honest, before I played the event, I was not expecting a new battle type whatsoever, especially, and let's be honest here, the battles in the Warhammer series have always been a bit lackluster, and it's just been like this for, what, the past 5 years now? Now, my opinions here are coming from playing the event, but also being a long-standing Warhammer fan of 20 plus years and a long-standing Total War fan too. The survival battle game mode brings an element of thematic play into Total War Warhammer. It's very much like a quest battle, just with a lot more technicality to it. There's new mechanics, there's new themes, and it just feels like something that you'd expect from a Warhammer game. Yes, I can see why this does not fit with historical Total War, barring some historical simulations if possible, but when it comes to a fantasy world, of course things are a little bit different. Warhammer, fantasy or otherwise, has always been focused quite heavily on a narrative, and let's be very honest here, they've been trying to bring in a narrative to Total War Warhammer since Game 2. Technically, you could even count the Chaos Invasion of Game 1 as a narrative focus too. Now it looks like with these battles, Creative Assembly are trying to push the narrative focus a little bit further, and I welcome it, but it has to be done in a specific way. By all means, the main campaign for Game 3 can be as narrative focused as they want. If they want to do a story and a rich one at that, I don't see a problem with it as long as it's done well and kept lore friendly. More on that a little bit later. But the mega map, the combined map of 1, 2 and 3, needs to be sandbox. It needs to keep the spirit of Total War. By all means keep a Chaos Invasion and all that, because at the end of the day it's what everyone's already used to, but we didn't get the Vortex mechanics from Game 2 moving on to the Mortal Empires, so this type of stuff should not move into whatever the final map gets called. If it isn't very obvious, I'm trying to see things from both sides of the coin as, yeah, I'm a fan of both types of things. I like narrative, but I also like the sandbox. If I can be perfectly honest, I like the survival battle, mainly because it's something completely different. It's a new game mode, which again fits with the theme of Warhammer very, very well. I was watching the reveal online with yourselves, mainly because I wanted to see what the community reacted to such a reveal, and there were a lot of comments calling it like a MOBA game, arcadey, and just a bit strange. And you know what? Yes, I can agree with the arcade feel. This is a very arcadey battle, and, well, there's no other two things to call it. Though again, I honestly found it really fun. I played that battle over and over again for 3 hours, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I can tell you complete honesty, I enjoyed it. I do believe that Creative Assembly did pick the wrong time to showcase this, however. Normally when Creative Assembly start hyping up a game, there is a battle reveal, and yes, this was a battle reveal, but not what everyone was expecting. They were expecting Kislev versus Khorne, but they were expecting a standard fight. I think that itself is what the community needed instead of seeing a survival battle. They want to see the units in action, and the problem is that when you're dealing with so much micromanagement and you're dealing with construction of buildings, barricades and all that, well, it's very hard to look at the units, isn't it? And we only really got the gameplay perspective of one faction, that of Kislev, and not the Warriors of Khorne, which we were fighting against constantly. Not only that, but we got a specialist type of gameplay. These survival battles are not common, we are aware of this. So we really didn't see what we're going to expect for the most time of our campaign. Showcasing something so radically different will of course bring worry, as there was no proper context for a lot of stuff. Had I been seeing this for the first time in the reveal like most of you guys, then I would have probably felt the same way as some comments. I would have thought, well, this is very different, what are they trying to do here? Especially not so much the Total War fans, but more so the Warhammer fans. We've been burnt before before. Radical styles of gameplay changes do come into effect with sequels of games. Look at Dawn of War 1, Dawn of War 2, and Dawn of War 3. All of them are very, very different. So seeing something incredibly different at the very beginning, of course, will bring fear. It would have brought fear to myself too. Again, I'm looking at this more so as a Warhammer fan because, well, we're kind of used to these types of things. Now, it doesn't really help either that we really don't know anything about the plot of the game. Yes, we know there's a dying god, yes, we know we have to attack the realms of chaos, and yes, we know that we're going to go up against the fortresses of the chaos gods themselves and fight their avatars or chosen champions with the exalted demons, as we've seen with the exalted bloodthirster. But there is no proper context as to how we actually got there, and why we're able to beat back the forces of the Chaos Gods in their own domain. That leads to a lot of confusion within the fanbase. It just makes no sense. Why are we here? What are we doing? And why are we able to beat back the forces of one of the strongest entities within the universe of Warhammer? Lore is important, especially for such an expansive universe, and yes, I know this is a sandbox game, but if they're bringing in a narrative such as this, well, there needs to be lore, doesn't there? With all that being said, I'm still excited for the game. I just believe that it could have been a bit better just to showcase the stuff at the start. Go with a basic battle, showcase two armies with as many units as possible rather than just showcasing, I'm assuming, around half a roster. Because if that is the full roster, well, they're not going to do very well against the other established races in the game series already. And then later down the line, once we start getting closer to campaign showcases and so on, that would have been the perfect time to showcase this battle stuff. I really do think that the survival battles are a cool and interesting way of bringing something new to the Warhammer series, but it was just done too soon. I'm still very much hyped up for the game, if not I would be saying otherwise, but I feel like this hasn't really given players incentive to pre-order. At the end of the day, these showcases are there to drum up sales, aren't they? I think further down the line, when everything's been balanced correctly and we're not seeing everything done in a alpha state where difficulty didn't really matter, because, well, they were likely making it as easy as possible to showcase it to the journalists, then they would probably be best to showcase more. And I think that the community as a whole would be much more willing to embrace the battle system when it's in a more playable state in terms of balancing. These are just some basic thoughts regarding this battle system. I'm keen, and I hope that you guys will be keen when eventually it gets prepared better. But until then, let me know your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel has been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.